Hello, cast of Comedy of Errors. My name is Andrew McClelland. I'm Teresa McClelland's son. She invited me to do a little bit of, a workshop to show you guys what kind of exercises you guys should be doing for the upcoming performance that you guys will be having in a couple months. Just really quick, I'm an actor in Chicago. I have been doing this for, well over a decade now. And along the way, and going through college and going through many different performances and many different theater companies, there have been, I would say, almost a curriculum of exercises that I like to do, that other actors really like to do, so that they can get their bodies, their minds, and their voices into performance-ready shape. I say shape because, as you guys are probably familiar with, doing sports in school as part of your, extracurriculars. There are exercises that you guys do, whether you're playing soccer or ultimate frisbee or football or any sport requires you to practice. And so acting is very much the same thing. You are required, or you are encouraged, to develop a curriculum of different exercises that you do to get your body into shape. And so I'm going to be going over with you some of those exercises, and I've some of them written down here, but I'm sort of going to be going over them with you just in this really brief video to show you exercises that you can do during rehearsal, the beginning of rehearsal, but I'm also encouraging you to take these exercises home. Take them home and do them on your own, because I know you only have a few days during the week to actually rehearse together as an ensemble. So what I'm encouraging you to do is, even when you're not at rehearsal, do these exercises at home, because you'll definitely notice a difference when you come to rehearsal and you actually you're doing these exercises, and they will definitely help you with your character studies as well. I'm going to start off with doing a few physical warm-ups, and then we'll move on to some vocal warm-ups, and then we will continue into some more ensemble exercises to get you guys more thinking as a group of people, not just necessarily as individuals. The main reason that we do a lot of the physical warm-ups is so that our bodies lose all of the things that we bring into the rehearsal. I know you guys, when during your day, usually this is happening, the rehearsals are happening at the end of the day. So before you get there, so much stuff has happened that is very distracting. Life is distracting. But when you're an actor, you have to leave all that stuff at the door, because if you don't, it'll show up in your character. And the audience doesn't necessarily want to see you as much as they want to see Shakespeare. They want to see these different characters that he's written. And so what I'm encouraging you to do is put all of yourself physically into these warm-ups, because when you notice after the warm-ups, you'll start to notice that you become fatigued to the point where you've forgotten about all the other stuff that you had to do, or all the other life things that happened to you that were distracted before you got to rehearsal. And so by doing these warm-ups and by doing these exercises, you'll not only unify as a cast, but you'll also just be better at the rehearsal and at the character work and at the learning of the lines. And because you're doing these warm-ups and exercises, you'll develop what's called muscle memory. So that before the rehearsal and before the performance, you'll be doing these exercises, and your mind will automatically recognize, okay, I'm doing these exercises. That must mean I'm about to do the show. That is what the muscle memory is all about. And so it's not necessarily tricking your mind, it's getting your mind, getting this muscle here into performance-ready shape. So to start off, I'm going to be doing some physical warm-ups for you guys, and we'll just go through these really quickly. I'm not going to do them all, as if I were there with you, but I'm just going to show you the proper way to do them. First off, I'm going to start off with some jumping jacks. I don't normally do these with most of the theater companies I work with, but for you guys, this is a familiar exercise that you've done with sports and other physical, exercises. So you know exactly what this is. So I hope I can do it. I have a fairly low ceiling in here, so bear with me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to do 20 to 25 jumping jacks. So start off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. All right, come to an actual neutral stance, which is your feet shoulder width apart and your hands at your side like this, like so. Straight. This is actor neutral. There's no character here. There's only the actor. Ready? Because from this stance, you can do anything. You can immediately go in any direction. But here's actor neutral. So we've just done 25 jumping jacks. Your body, your heart is already, your pulse is elevated. You're ready to go. All right, so next, we're going to do something that I call, it's actually what we all call it, sun sals or sun salutations. It's yoga, but it's basically just stretching and breathing, and it's very important that you do the breathing portion of this as well. Because if you're not breathing, then your body's muscles get very tired, they're not being oxygenated, they're just bleh. So, all right. So we're starting from actor neutral, and again I'm going to go over here. Bring your hands into this prayer pose right here, and we're going to what's called saluting the sun. Saluting the sun. So we're going to go up and breathe in, come and bring down, breathe out. Try and touch your toes, but also remember to breathe. So you're breathing out and you're touching your toes. Next, we're going to bring this leg right here, your right leg, or for you it's your left leg, but for me it's my right leg. We're going to bring that back, and we're going to salute the sun again, but in a different way. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to an upward dog, or downward dog, and we're stretching our back, our legs right here. We're stretching these muscles right here. And we're going like this. Breathe in, breathe out. And we're going into what's called cobra pose. Bring that down. And we're now lying, we're flat on the floor. Our stomachs are on the floor. And then we come back up like this, almost like we're doing a push-up, but our lower body is on the floor still. And this is sort of stretching out our backs, our spines. And we're coming down. Again, breathing. We're coming back up. Same pose. And then we're bringing our other leg, not the one we started out with, but our other leg forward. Again, keeping our balance. This is also really good for your balance. And we're bringing this up. Saluting the sun, breathing. Down. Bring our legs up, bring them back together. And we're just sort of hanging here. This is really good. It's very good. This part right here is very good. It's just sort of bent right now. Try to touch your toes. Again, remember your breathing. This is very important that you remember breathing. And then we come up. And we're saluting the sun. Breathe out. And we're back in this prayer pose. Now, the prayer pose is important because it sort of gives you a moment to breathe. Now we're going to take, it'll take 3 breaths. So, in, out, in, out, in, out. And then we're going to go up again. And we're going to come down. Now, I'm not going to go through, because I have a limited amount of time, I'm not going to go and do all of these. Now, what I usually recommend is that you start out with 5. You start out with 5. Since you guys are young, I'd recommend doing 5 of these. And as you go, and through the months of rehearsal, as you go, I recommend adding more. You know, say you feel like you've got 5 down. I would recommend that you would increase the number each week and try and see if you can get up to 12. If you can get up to 12, that is amazing. That is really great. 12 is what I normally do. And it's what I normally do before rehearsal, before performance. It sort of gets my mind into the correct rhythm, correct mood. All right. So now we've done all of these sun salves. Now what do you want to do? What we want to do next is called the spinal awakening exercise. And it sort of awakens your spine. It gets your spine loose. Because the spine is one of the most important parts. If your spine is all stiff, you're going to be stiff. And it's going to show on performance. So when we're going to do the spinal awakening exercise. Okay, and basically what that is you come here, again, actor neutral, and you just slowly come down. Let your arms hang loose. Remember, you're breathing in and then let it out. And you just feel like that right now. And just let your arms hang loose. Let them just hang out. Let's try and touch your toes if you can. If you can't, it's not a big deal. But just try and touch your toes. And then what I want you to do is with your shoulders and with your arms, I just want you to sort of shake like that. Shake like that. That's waking up your spine. It's waking up your spine. It's waking up your diaphragm area. Okay, remember, it's very important to breathe, so you're still breathing. All right. And now that you're in this pose, you're hanging down, I want you to close your eyes and imagine every part of your spine is made up of tiny little vertebrae. Which it is, of course. But the thing is that I want you to realize is that I want you to try and wake each individual vertebra up. So what I want you to do is you're breathing here, you're shaking like this, and then I want you to close your eyes and imagine that. And then I want you to very slowly, vertebra by vertebra, I want you to slowly come up, waking every single vertebra up one by one. Again, keep your neck, keep your chin to your torso, to your chest. And slowly come up. There you go. And now your spine's all awake. All right. Now what I want you to do is I want you to shake it out. Shake everything. Shake all your extremities. Just dance around. Just dance like a boxer. So you're going left, you're going right. You're on your toes. You're all good. All right. Now shake out your hands. Shake out your hands. Just feel your body. All right. Now the next thing that I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you walk around the space. Now you're hopefully, when we first started this off, you are in the space. You're in the performance area. So your body will recognize that. When it comes time to perform, you'll be doing these exercises to start off, and now it's time to walk that space. Now, think about your characters. Of course, Mrs. McClelland will have, you thinking about your characters and thinking about, the lines and the meter, and she'll have you thinking about all these things, but I want you to think about how your character walks, how your character moves in the space. Is your character a great thinker? If he is, he leads with his head. Now, through my years of doing theater, I've experienced a school of theater called Commedia dell'arte. And what that is that Commedia dell'arte focuses a lot on movement and how character moves. Now, if a character is a thinker and he's all in his head, he leads with his head. So he thinks and he walks like this. He leads with his head to his furthest point. Now, if a character is a very dominant, very physical character, he leads with his chest, and he's here. He walks and he rules the space. And that's a dominant character. Now, if a character is a very led by his own desires, or it doesn't have to be his. It can be her. I'm just saying his, because I'm a he. So, but if a character is led by his own desires or his own lusts or whatever, he leads from his pelvis. This is how he walks. And so, just think about that. Think about how your character moves. I know that there are some very funny characters in this, so think about how they move. Do they go like this? Do they move like this? Are they a dominant character, or are they more of a thinking character? Are they ruled with their head? So just think about that as you're moving around in space. Now you're moving around in space, and think not only about how your character moves, but how fast your character moves. Are they frenetic energy, or are they more of a plodding? Do they move very slowly? Think about it. It's not, and the thing is that this is not all something that has to be set in stone. This is something that develops through your studying of the text, through the process of rehearsal. This is something that can be, it's very open. So feel free to experiment, feel free to explore. That's the great thing about Shakespeare, is that not all of it is set in stone. The only thing that's set in stone are the words. And you are using the words. And the words are the best part. The words are the best part. Now that we've established physical warm-up, I'm going to go on and move on. Since we were just talking about words, I'm going to move on to doing a vocal warm-up with you guys. All right. Okay, vocal warm-up. Okay. We are starting with, all right, so where is, what do you think the most important part muscle is? Where is it? The correct answer would be your tongue. Your tongue, for Shakespeare especially, because it's all about the words with Shakespeare. It's all about the language. It's all about how your mouth and tongue move with speaking the words. It's also very important to understand the words and understand what you're saying. It's very important. That's why your brain is the most important muscle. But for speaking, we're gonna talk about the tongue now. So to start off with this vocal warm-up, I want you to start massaging your face. Just massage your face. Start off here. Oh yeah, get this face warmed up. Get it all massaged out. Just start massage those cheeks, massage that nose area, nosing, the resonator right here, and start. Oh yeah, massage those cheeks with cheek muscles, and then get in right here. Get in behind, like right in front of your ear, but right underneath your jaw, just right here. Just massage that area. Get that all nice and loose. Start making faces. This is actually going to be very fun, because I know everyone likes to make faces and they like to, do crazy things. But just feel free to just go to town. Just do funny things. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to loosen our tongue up. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to start blowing raspberry. So just blow. Get them all nice and loose. Get your tongue nice and loose. So take the tip of your tongue, put it behind your teeth. Like that. And just really start to push. Just push it all out. Try talking while you're doing it. Hi, Mrs. McClelland. How are you doing today? This can be very fun for you guys. Believe me, I have a ton of fun doing it. All right. So now that you've massaged your face and you've got your tongue all warmed up. All right. Okay. I'm gonna start. Let's find your voice. Now you're in the space. You're in the performance space. Let's find where your voice is. Okay. Now the thing is that on the day of performance, what's going to happen is you're going to get nervous. It happens to the best of us. It really does. For me, I get very nervous 5 seconds before I first go on stage. I'm never nervous the day of. I'm never nervous the entire process. I'm all cool as a cucumber. But the moment right before I go on stage for the first time, I am sweating bullets. It happens to all of us. So you're in good company. But what normally happens is your voice or your vocal cords in your throat will dry up and they'll be very tight. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to find your voice. You're going to find where your voice resonates. So we're going to start off low, and feel free to just stoop down. So, all right. So we're going to make some siren noises. And so what we're going to do is, and we're going to find the volume. So keep doing that. Just keep, you can pause the video or whatever, but do that as many times. Just go around the space. Just go around the space. Do it in front of people. And just really find where your voice is at. And then think of where your voice is at, and then make it 10 to 20 times louder than that. Just really just blow the walls off the place where you are. Because I guarantee you, when you actually go out and start to perform, or during rehearsal, your vocal projection, you will not be projecting effectively to start off. But remember this exercise, and remember that you need to make your voice go all the way to the back of the performance area. Always. Because if you're doing that, if you're shooting it all the way to the back, then everybody is going to hear the words you're saying. And that's what's important. Everybody needs to hear. Because I'm guaranteeing you're going to have people in your audience who are hard of hearing or who have, hearing aids. If you're speaking clearly and you're projecting your voice, they're going to hear no problem. So just remember that. All right, so we're finding our voice, we're finding our volume. Now, the next part is something that's very important because Shakespeare requires you to speak clearly using your mouth, using your tongue. Tongue. All right, so what we're going to do next is called the consonant game, and it can be kind of fun. So you guys are in a circle, and what you're going to do is you're going to start off, one of you is going to pick a consonant. So we're going to start off with B, and we're going to do this. Binny, bonny, bony. So we're picking B, so that means everybody needs to do this at the same time. So Binny, bonny, bony. Let's do D. D is next, so somebody else picks D. Dinny, donny, donny. Dinny, donny, donny. Dinny, donny, donny. So do it 3 times. Do it 3 times. Let's pick an F. F is next. So finny, phony, phony. Now really, really enunciate. So R. Rinny, ronny, rony. Rinny, ronny, rony. Rinny, ronny, rony. T. T is a good one. T is really good to practice. Tinny, tawny, tony. Tinny, tawny, tony. Tinny, tawny, tony. Tinny, tawny. Linny, L. Linny, lonny, loney. Linny, lonny, loney. Linny, lonny. Now, it's very important. Find out all the different consonants. Z, for example. Zinny, zonny, zonny. Do all of the consonants. And I'm not saying you have to do them all, but, in your spare time when you're, doing your own thing, just pick a consonant and start doing it. And just really focus on it. Getting the right sound. Getting the perfect enunciation. Because if you're enunciating, then that's brilliant. Because that's a lot of what Shakespeare is enunciating correctly. Let's see, what should we do? Oh, let's do some tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are really fun. Okay, so the first tongue twister I want to do with you guys is, it's actually more of a consonant game, but it's really good for developing the correct sort of sound that you should have for doing Shakespeare. Now, with Shakespeare, you're thinking a lot of it is in sort of a British accent, kind of. So we're going to do this game, and it's called the bread box game. And to start off, we're going to have our hands like this, and we're going to say, a box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits. These are all hand motions. A box of mixed biscuits. And a biscuit mixer. A box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. A box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. Now, you're going to do that. And the first time I recommend going very slowly because you're all supposed to be doing it at the same time as one voice. Now, as you're going and as you're rehearsing, you'll start to get better at this game. That doesn't mean that you should automatically go fast. Start off very slow, but once you start to master it, I encourage you to really, really enunciate. A box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. A box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. A box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. A box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. You get the idea. So, that is our first game. The next game that we're going to do is called, it's not a game, it's a tongue twister. The next tongue twister we're going to do is Weather the Weather. And some of you may have heard of this before. So it's whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, we'll be together whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. So, whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, we'll be together whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. So next one we're going to do is called To Sit in Solemn Silence. This is my favorite one because it uses all of the major consonants of Shakespeare. So, to start off, to sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. So, to sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock is a pestilential prison in a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. There you go. So that's my favorite one. Next one is what to do. What to do. So it goes like this. What to do to die today at a minute or two till two. A thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. For they'll beat a tattoo at 20 till 2 with a rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-too. And the dragoon will come to the beat of a drum at a minute or two till 2 today at a minute or two till 2. So now that you've heard it, you're supposed to do it again and again and again. And steadily it gets faster because you start to get good at it. So it goes like this. What did you do to die today at a minute or two till 2? A thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. For the beat a tattoo at 20 till 2 with a rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-too, and the dragoon will come to the beat of a drum at a minute or two till 2 today at a minute or two till 2. That is what to do. The next one is kind of a gruesome one because it's kind of gross, but it goes like this. Theophilus Thistle, the unsuccessful thistle sifter, thrust 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. Again, Theophilus Thistle, the unsuccessful thistle sifter, thrust 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. Okay. Now that we've done a lot of these tongue twisters, what I'm going to do is we're going to transition now from doing tongue twisters and doing vocal warm-ups, because by now your voice will be warmed up, your mouth will be warmed up. There's one more game that you guys can do, but it'll only happen after you have memorized your lines. It's more of this is sort of transitioning into an ensemble warm-up. So again, you're in a circle, and what I would like for each one of you to do is while you're memorizing your lines, there are lines that you're going to say that you'll pick. It's going to be your line, it's going to be your A1 line, and then there's going to be your A2 line. Your A1 line is very, alright, let me think here. It's going to be it's going to be maximum energy, but your voice is not going, it's not going to be loud, it's going to carry. So for example, my A1 line, to be or not to be, that is the question. That is your A1 line. Now it has incredible energy behind it, but your voice, it's not going above a certain volume. So your A2 line, that is going to have the same intensity, but it's going to be loud. It's going to fill the space. So another line. Okay, here we go. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. So, you have your A1 and your A2 lines. Now, one is from Hamlet, the other one is from As You Like It. You're only going to be memorizing the ones for your character. So you're going to find your A1 line that your character has, and your A2 line. Some of you are going to have smaller parts. You're not going to have as many lines for an A1 or an A2. Just pick a line. It doesn't have to really mean anything. The importance is that you have the right energy behind it. The energy is the thing. So if you have the energy to be or not to be, that is the question. Now you're in a circle. So Mrs. McClelland will say A1 line. You're going to have your A1 line in your mind. So you're going to pick someone to start. So this guy starts over here. To be or not to be, that is the question. And you're going to point at a person across from you. And that person will take that energy and they'll receive it. And then what they'll do is they'll say their A1 line across to another person. And then eventually, after everyone's done their A1 lines, Mrs. McClelland will say A2 line, or B line, your B line. And then you're going to use the one that has the same amount of energy, but you're going to fill the space. Your voice will be resonant, resounding, and it's going to hit all the way to the back wall. That's the voice that you want. And it'll be, the person will start off and they will say, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players, to that person. And then that person will receive that energy, and then they will take it and they'll send their B1 line or their A2 line to another person across the circle. And this whole exercise will continue. And you can do multiple, you can do what the person more than once, it doesn't matter. The importance is that you guys are energized. And and as you go, you can also throw in certain gestures, and that will cue you for when you have your line. Again, this is all about muscle memory. So while you're doing it, think about your gestures, think about your vocal energy and the energy that you have in your body when you're saying these lines. And when the time comes during the performance to say these lines, you'll remember, that's how I'm supposed to say it. I've arrived. To be or not to be, that is the question. You'll think about that and you'll think, my line is now. Now I need to say it this way. All right, moving on. Now we're going to transition into full ensemble warm-up. Okay, so you guys are in your circle. You guys' bodies are all awake. They're all ready. They're all good. Now your vocal energy is good. Your body and your voice have been warmed up. You're all there. You are now a complete package. All right, now we're going to transition into ensemble warm-up. So again, you're in a circle. What I want you to do is you're all facing into the circle. What I want you to do is turn to the partner to your right. And I want you to take your right hand and place your right hand on the left shoulder of the person in front of you. So do that. What that'll do is it will achieve the correct amount of distance you need to have from your partner. And again, it starts off with you achieving the distance, and then I want you to start to walk in a circle. Just walk in a circle with the person in front of you. Again, you're moving as one ensemble. You're all moving at the same time. Now, the next thing that happens is there are 3 movements that you're going to do that are a part of this ensemble warm-up. You're going to start moving, but then you're going to transition from movement. You can do 3 movements. There's one where you turn, and you're going to turn and go in exactly the opposite direction. Now the important thing is that you don't ever notice who starts the movement. You just do it. And so you're walking in a circle, and then the person turns and they start walking in the opposite direction, counterclockwise or clockwise. Now, the next movement you do is you're moving and then suddenly someone stops. Now again, you're not supposed to notice who initiates the action. It's all supposed to happen as if you're all doing it at the same time. So again, this is all about ensemble. So you're moving and then stop, and then you keep moving, and you keep going. And after that, the next movement that you can do is a jump. Now you're moving again, no one notices who initiates the movement, it just happens, and you jump. Now you're jumping again, you're jumping with your knees, so it's this. And you're landing square on your feet, and you keep moving. So, now, after you've moved and you've achieved ensemble unity, you're all moving. Again, the actions, nobody notices if the actions are taking, or who is initiating. Nobody notices that. As far as anyone's concerned, looking at this exercise, they're all happening at the same time. Okay, so after that, you're all going to face back into the circle, facing into the center, and without seeing who initiates the action, you're going from actor neutral, you're going to jump. Someone's going to initiate it. Hold on one second. Alright. And so you're just going to start from actor neutral, and you're going to jump, and you're going to jump, and you're going to jump. Now it doesn't matter how many times you jump, it just matters that it happens. So one person will start. It'll be like, one person will jump, boom, and again, this is the correct stance to have during this exercise because your body is tense, it's ready, it's also loose. You're seeing with your peripheral focus now. You're looking around, and you're noticing the other people in the ensemble, the other actors. You're noticing the space around you. You guys are all now moving as one. You're a full cast, you're an ensemble. It's very important that you recognize this. And somebody else initiates it. And that is an ensemble exercise. If you guys have any questions at all, ask Mrs. McClelland. If she wants, she can send you information like my email, or if you guys want to Facebook message me or something or whatever, you're more than welcome to if you have any questions. I usually recommend that one or two cast members, usually a lead and one of the minor characters, initiates the warm-ups every single day. Mrs. McClelland will usually tell you when. Thank you guys so much. I hope this video has been really helpful for you. I really wish I could come see you guys. I have a feeling this would be a great show. I wish you all the best of luck. Break a leg and have fun. Just have fun. Yeah.